Hello students, today we will learn the next illustration number 2 relating to the computation of business income. Now see the illustration. From the following particulars of Mr. Bhaskar, compute his income from business for the assessment year 2020-21. Profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2020 is given. So under that, to salaries to staff rupees 36,000, salary to proprietor rupees 15,000, rent rupees 24,000, legal charges rupees 2,500, household expenses rupees 20,000, trade expenses rupees 12,000, car expenses rupees 18,000, RBD rupees 3,000, interest on bank loan rupees 7,500, interest on capital rupees 5,000, fire insurance premium rupees 3,000, life insurance premium rupees 10,000, depreciation rupees 15,000, donations rupees 5,000, subscription to NSC rupees 5,000, GST paid rupees 12,500. Next, continuation, income tax paid rupees 9,000. Next, on the credit side, interest on post office saving bank account rupees 3,000, commission and discount rupees 7,500, sale of income from firm rupees 24,000, bad debt recovered previously allowed rupees 1,500, agricultural income rupees 36,000, and net profit is rupees 69,000. So total of both the side 2,79,500. So next is additional information. First one, business is carried on in a rented premise. Half of the premise is used for residential purpose. Second one, 1/3 of car expenses related to personal use. Third one, legal charges are in connection with the protection of trademark. Fourth one, depreciation allowable as per income tax rule is rupees 12,000. So with this information here, so with this profit and loss account and additional information, we have to compute the business income of Mr. Bhaskar for the assessment year 2020-21. So we have to compute the business income. So it starts with the net profit. So to the net profit we have to add the disallowed expenses. So here on the debit side of profit and loss account, we have to see which are the allowed business expenses, which are not allowed business expenses, means which are the expenses relating to business and which are the expenses not relating to business. So here we have to find which are the expenses not relating to business firstly. So to compute the business income, firstly we have to take the net profit as per profit and loss account. So that will be given in the profit and loss account. After that we have to add the disallowed expenses, which to write these disallowed expenses we have to see the debit side of profit and loss account. So disallowed expenses are nothing but the expenses which are not relating to businesses should be added to the net profit. So we'll see one by one. First one, salary to staff. So businesses, this here Bhaskar has paid the salaries to staff, means it is relating to business. So every businesses they have to pay, as you see, they have to pay the salaries to their staff if they are engaged in the business. So it means salary to staff is allowed. So it should be there in the debit side of profit and loss account. So ignore it. Next, salary to proprietor. So proprietor salary is not allowed. It is disallowed and it should be added to the net profit. Salary to proprietor is disallowed, so it should be added to net profit. Then rent. So rent is actually allowed. So we have to check the any adjustment relating to rent. If this rent paid for residential purpose, then it is disallowed. Then legal charges. Even the legal charges, if it is in connection with the businesses, it is allowed. If it is related connection with the personal purpose, then it is disallowed. So we have to see the adjustment for this rent or legal charges. Next, household expenses. Household expenses means these are personal expenses, so it is disallowed. So we have to add to the profit and add to the net profit. Next, trade expenses. The expenses relating to trading activities, means relating to businesses, allowed it is, so leave as it is. Then car expenses. So if this car is used for personal use, then the car expenses will be disallowed. If the car is used for business purpose, then car expenses will be allowed. So if there is no information about whether car is used for personal or business purpose, then we can assume the car is used for business purpose and we can allow this car expenses. So we'll see the adjustment if there is. After that we have to decide whether it is allowed or disallowed. Next, RBD, reserve for bad debt. So all the reserves are disallowed. All the reserves and provisions are disallowed. Then interest on bank loan. So interest on bank loan, relating to bank loan, we have to see whether the loan is taken for business or the loan taken for personal use. If the loan is taken for personal use, then interest on the bank loan, interest paid on that loan will be disallowed. If the loan is taken for business purpose, then interest paid on that loan will be allowed. Next, so if there is no information about whether this loan is taken for business purpose or personal purpose, then we can assume the loan is taken for business purpose and the interest paid will be allowed for the business. So if there is no information, then we have to take it as allowed. So when it is allowed means we have to ignore it. If it is disallowed, then only we have to put a plus sign, means add to net profit. Next, interest on capital. Interest on capitals are disallowed. It is not relating to business. Fire insurance premium. So here also, if this fire insurance premium is paid for a business premises or a house property, we have to see whether it is paid for a business premises or a house residential property. If it is residential property or for a residential purpose, then it is disallowed. If it is for the business premises or business property, business building, then it is allowed. When there is no information about whether this premium fire insurance policy is taken for business or house property purpose, then we can assume as a policy is taken for a business premises and the fire insurance premium is paid on that premises. So we can assume it and we can allow this expenses. Fire insurance premium will be allowed. Then life insurance premium. So life insurance premium is disallowed. It is relating to personal expenses, so we have to add it to the net profit. Depreciation is allowed. Depreciation expense will be allowed. Donations, the business, this assessee has given a donation. So donation is with his own interest he has donated, means it is personal expenses, so it is not relating to particular business. It is not relating to a business trading or activities, so it is disallowed. Then subscription to NSC. So the assessee, this Bhaskar, has invested in the national savings certificate. He has invested in the national savings certificate, so it is not relating to businesses, it is relating to his personal investment, so it is disallowed. We have to add to the net profit. Then GST paid. So GST is a tax which is paid on a goods and services, on a supply of goods and services. It means that it is relating to business. Business means there will be a goods and services, there will be supply of goods and services, so they have to pay the taxes, GST. So it is allowed. GST will be allowed expenses to the business. So if GST is paid after due date, then it is disallowed. GST paid is allowed, so ignore it. Next point. Next is income tax. Income tax paid is relating to personal income tax. It is not relating to a business. Income is the personal income. He is paying a tax. Income tax is calculated on the total income of assessee. Total income consists of all the income. It means it is relating to his personal income tax. It is not relating to a particular business tax, so it is disallowed. So disallowed expenses we have to add to the net profit. Disallowed expenses are over. Next, to see the credit side of profit and loss account. So here they have given with the incomes. So now we have to see which are the incomes are allowed to business and which are the incomes disallowed to businesses, which are the business related income and which are not business related income. So we'll see one by one. First one is interest on post office saving bank account. So interest income received from the post office saving bank account. So this Bhaskar has been created a post office bank account, saving bank account in the post office, and there in the saving bank deposit he has received a interest, means it is a income he is receiving from other source. It is not a business related income, so it should be added, it should be deducted. so it should be deducted. The income, disallowed income should be deducted. So it is the interest he is going to get from other source. It is not relating to business income. So here we have to compute only the income from business. So no, we have to this adjustment we have to take only once. If they ask to calculate even the total income, then this interest on POSB account we have to take under the income from other source. It is a income from other source, we have to take under income from other source. But in the income from other source, the full amount is not taxable. Up to 3,500 is exempt, balance is taxable. Post interest received on post office saving bank account up to 3,500 is exempt, balance is taxable. Means here it is a just 3,000, so 3,000 will be exempt. If you are calculating total income, now it is not required. So here we are calculating only the business income, so we have to only once we have to deduct as a disallowed income. Next, commission and discount. Commission and discount given on the credit side means the this Bhaskar has received a commission received and discount received. It is relating to business. He got a commission as well as discount from a dealers, so it is a allowed business income. It is treated as a business income and it should be there in the credit side of profit and loss account and leave as it is. Next, share of income from the firm. So income from a firm. So if this Bhaskar, being a partner in a partnership firm, has received a share of income, it is not a business related income, it is a income he is receiving from other source, but it is not taxable under the business income head. It is not taxable, so we have to cancel from the credit side of profit and loss account, so it should be deducted. Next, bad debt recovered previously allowed. So in the format I have given bad debt recovered disallowed earlier, we have to deduct. Bad debt recovered disallowed earlier, if it is disallowed earlier, then we have to deduct. So this is a bad debt recovered previously allowed. It is allowed previously means allowed earlier. Bad debt recovered allowed earlier means it is allowed to the business. It is allowed to business. It should not be deducted. It should not be deducted from a net profit. So it is allowed. Why it is allowed means, so this bad debt recovered in this previous year, 31st March 2020, it is recovered. Bad debt, it is recovered in this year, particular 31st March 2020 year, but it was previously allowed. Now it is previously allowed as a deduction. Bad debt is previously allowed as deduction and now it is recovered during this previous year. So this recovered value, bad debt recovered which is previously allowed, should be included in the net profit, and it should be taxable. Reason is, for example, we can take bad debt allowed in the previous year, means earlier year. Bad debt in the earlier previous year is 10,000. We can take the example of in the profit and loss account. In the profit and loss account, 2 bad debt. We have recorded 2 bad debt. Means it was allowed in the previous year. Bad debt allowed in the previous year. So bad debt means what? It is a debt, which means here business means the assessee. Assessee thinks that the debt what the business going to get it back in future, the debt what they are going to get it back in the future, they are not getting it return. They are not getting it in return, means it becomes bad. They thought like there are some debt, the company has, the business has given a sum of the goods as a debt, and because of a insolvent of that supplier, the debt they are not going to get it back. So it means the debt becomes bad. The company or this business thinks that that debt amount they are not going to get it back because of that supplier is in loss. So they have treated, so it becomes bad. So that debt becomes bad. So when they are not getting it to back, so business can take it as a expense. So they can show on the debit side of profit and loss account 2 bad debt. Means it is allowed to business. It is allowed expense to business. They can record on the debit side of profit and loss account when there is a bad debt. when the business thinks that the debt they are not going to get it back, so they can record on the debit side of profit and loss account and they can show it as a bad debt. So when they are showing as a bad debt in the debit side, means their net profit shows less. Their net profit shows less. When their net profit shows less, they have paid less tax. They paid less tax in that particular year. They have paid less tax in that particular year. Now in the next year, that bad debt was recovered. Previously it was allowed as a deduction. Previously we have taken as a deduction. It was allowed as a deduction and we have recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account. Because of that our profit has shown less and we have paid a less tax. But in the subsequent year, that bad debt has been recovered. Means this Bhaskar has received that bad debt. That party, the one who taken a debt, has been returned that debt amount, means the bad debt has been recovered. So it is income to business. So it was previously allowed. It is a income. Previously we have shown as a expense and we have paid less tax, and this year we have recovered that debt previously allowed. Then it should be taxed. It should be taxed means it should be included in the profit and loss account. It should be recorded on the credit side of profit and loss account, and on that we have to pay tax. So it is not disallowed. It is allowed. Now it is allowed. It should be recorded in the credit side of profit and loss account as a income, and it should be taxed. Next, so that's why it is should be we have to keep as it is. We should not cancel it. If we are cancelling means we have to deduct. Suppose if they give bad debt recovered disallowed earlier, previously allowed, we should not do anything. If it is disallowed earlier, then we have to deduct. So in the format I have shown, previously disallowed means we have to deduct. So for that we no need to pay our taxes, so we have to deduct. So next is agriculture income. Agriculture income is not relating to business, so it is a disallowed. So disallowed income means we have to deduct. It is exempt as per section 10. It is not taken as a business income. So this is about the disallowed income. So only 3 are the disallowed incomes, means the income it is not relating to business. Only 3 are the income not relating to business, should be deducted from the net profit. And the commission and discount to bad debt recovered previously allowed is treated as a income to business, and it should be taxed as a business income and should be included in the net profit. Next, see the additional information. Under that, first one, business is carried on in a rented premise. So this business is carried on a rented premise. Half of the premise is used for residential purpose. Half of the premise is used for residential purpose. So this business, the entire business is carried on a rented premise. So when the business is carried on a rented premises, then rent paid will be allowed business expense. So in this question they have given rent paid. On the debit side they have given rent paid, means it is a rental expenses paid. Bhaskar has paid rent to the building or a premises. So 24,000 rent he has been paid. See here, half of the premise is used for residential purpose, means out of the total rent paid, half of the rent is used for the residential purpose. When half is used for a residential purpose, then that part of the residential purpose, the rent paid for residential purpose, should be disallowed. Rent paid for the residential purpose should be disallowed. So only business related expenses we have to include in the debit side of profit and loss account. So this rent paid include for the entire property. So for the entire building they have paid a rent of rupees how much? 24,000. So in this entire premises, 50% of the premise is used for a business purpose and 50% is used for a residential purpose. So out of 24,000, only 50% is allowed as a business expenses and remaining 50% is taken as a disallowed expenses, it is not relating to business, so the 50% of the rent paid is taken as a disallowed. So it is total 24,000 is debited to profit and loss account, so it should not be 24,000, only the 12,000 should be recorded here. So the remaining 12,000, 50% of 24,000 is disallowed, so we have to add to the net profit to cancel the amount. Understood? So that is about the rent paid relating to business premises as well as residential purpose. Next, second point they have given is 1/3 of the car expenses is related to personal use. So this car is used for personal use, means 1/3 is used for a personal use, means remaining 2/3 is relating to business, 1/3 is personal use. So the part of personal use is disallowed, remaining is allowed. So total car expenses, how much? Total car expenses is 18,000. So here while explaining I taken it as a, it is car is used for business purpose, so 18,000 we can take it as allowed. When they give additional information about the car expenses, it is used for personal use, then we have to take it as a disallowed. So how much is disallowed? Only the 1/3 of car expense is disallowed, which is used for personal use is disallowed. So total car expense is equal to 18,000. So 18,000 into 1/3 is disallowed, remaining are allowed. Okay. So disallowed how much? Only that amount we have to add to the net profit. So that is 18,000 into 1/3 is disallowed. So remaining we should be there in the debit side of profit and loss account. So leave as it is. But only the disallowed amount we have to add to the net profit. Next, third point is, so here this 1/3 we have to add to the net profit, disallowed. Then residential purpose, the part of residential purpose rent paid we have to add. Then legal charges are in connection with the protection of trademark. So trademark means it is relating to business. Protecting the trademark of a business is relating to a business expenses. So the legal expenses or legal charges relating to this protection of trademark is allowed business expenses. It is allowed business expenses. So the legal expenses 2,500 is allowed. If legal expenses, legal charges include for protecting the criminal liability, if they give, then it is disallowed. So protection of trademark is allowed. So remember, protection of trademark is allowed. Then depreciation allowable as per IT rule is 12,000. So here they have given depreciation allowable as per IT rule is 12,000. So it means that so when the depreciation actually allowable as per income tax rule, means as per section 32, depreciation should be recorded on the debit side of business profit and loss account is 12,000. But here whether we have recorded the depreciation, yes, they have recorded the depreciation, but they recorded more value of depreciation. Actually allowable is 12,000, but they recorded more, means how much more they have recorded? Actual allowable is 12,000, but they recorded 15,000, means 3,000 extra depreciation they have recorded. 3,000 extra amount is recorded here. The 3,000 extra amount is deducted from a net profit. Now we have to cancel this 3,000. So that is the excess depreciation or a extra depreciation recorded should be deducted, should be cancelled from a net profit. So to cancel we have to add to the net profit. So 3,000 amount we have to add to the net profit. So that is about the depreciation as per IT rule. So if they don't give depreciation here, 15,000 if they don't record, then it is taken as a allowable depreciation, not allowed so far, then we have to deduct 12,000. If they give additional information as well as if they recorded the depreciation on the debit side of profit and loss account, at that time we have to check whether they have recorded more depreciation or whether they have recorded less depreciation. See, if they are recorded more depreciation, then what is the more depreciation, what is the extra depreciation, that should be cancelled from a profit and loss account. So that is 3,000 is the extra recorded here. So that 3,000 we have to cancel from the debit side of a profit and loss account as a disallowed expenses. Understood? So with this information we have to compute the business income. Yes, now we will work out the solution. So write the heading computation of income from business or computation of business income of Mr. Barker for the assessment year 2020-21. Write the heading computation of business income of Mr. Barker for the assessment year 2020-21. So draw three column, particulars and two amount column. So we have to start with the net profit as per profit and loss account. So write net profit as per profit and loss account. So what is the net profit as per profit and loss account? So here it is given net profit as per profit and loss account is 69,000 rupees. So write rupees 69,000 on the second amount column. Next, to this net profit we have to add the disallowed expenses. So disallowed expenses means the expenses which is not relating to businesses should be added back to the net profit. So we'll write one by one the disallowed expenses. So to write the disallowed expenses, we have to see the debit side of profit and loss account. So we'll see one by one. Salary to staff is allowed. Second, salary to proprietor is disallowed. So write salary to proprietor. So salary to proprietor amount is rupees 15,000. 15,000 is disallowed. Next, rent paid is 24,000 is given. Rent paid. So relating to rent paid. So there is a additional information. What it says. So the entire business is carried on a rented premises. Half is used for residential purpose, means the out of total rent paid, half is paid for a residence purpose and remaining half is paid for a business purpose. So only the rent paid for business purpose is allowed. Remaining 50% half is disallowed. So out of 24,000, 50% is disallowed. So the part of disallowed is rent paid for the residential purpose. Rent paid for residential purpose should be disallowed. It is not relating to business. So it is not relating to business. So we have to disallow. So total rent paid is rupees 24,000. So part of the residential purpose means the 50%, half of the rent, half of the premise is used for the residential purpose, means the half rent is paid for a residential purpose. So that is 24,000 into 50%. You can take 24,000 into 1 by 2 or 24,000 into 50%. So that is equal to 12,000. Next is legal charges. So legal charges is in relating to a protection of trademark. So it is allowed. So when it is allowed, leave as it is. Disallowed expense only we have to cancel. So only the disallowed expenses we have to add to the net profit. Next, household expense. Household expenses are relating to personal expenses. So it is not relating to business. It is disallowed. So write household expenses 20,000 disallowed. Household expenses 20,000 amount is disallowed. Next one, trade expenses relating to trading activity of business is allowed. Car expenses relating to car, they have given additional information. 1/3 of car expenses is relating to personal use. So the part of personal use we have to disallow. Only the business related expenses is allowed. So how much part of car expenses is used for personal use is nothing but 1/3. So out of total car expenses, so car expenses is 18,000. 18,000 into 1/3 is disallowed. Remaining is allowed. So write car expenses related to personal use. So car expenses relating to personal use is disallowed. So we have to add to net profit. We have to cancel that entry. So the total car expenses is 18,000. In that 1/3 is relating to personal use. So 1/3 we have to disallow. Remaining is allowed. So 6,000 is disallowed. Remaining 2/3 is allowed. So 18,000. In the 18,000, 6,000 is for the disallowed. So remaining is allowed, should be there in the debit side of profit and loss account. Next one is RBD. All the reserves should be disallowed. So here income tax is payable only on expenses incurred or income received basis. If it is any reserves or provisions for the anticipated expenses or incomes, the income tax will be not levied. So all the reserves will be disallowed. So we have to add reserves, means for future losses kept in some part of the reserve. So that is disallowed. So all the RBD is disallowed. Reserve for bad debts or RBD is disallowed. So amount is 3,000. is disallowed. Next, interest on bank loan. So if bank loan is taken for business or personal purpose, we have to see. So is there any such a information given? No, there is no such a information is given whether loan is taken for personal use or a business purpose. So then we can assume it as the loan is taken for business purpose and the interest paid on bank loan is allowed business expenses. So when it is allowed, leave as it is. Interest on capital is disallowed, so write under disallowed expenses. So amount of the interest on capital is rupees 5,000. Next one is fire insurance premium. So relating to fire insurance premium, I already told, if this policy, fire insurance policy, is taken for a business or a house property purpose. If it is taken for business purpose, then allowed. House property purpose is disallowed. So here there is no clear information or any other additional information whether there is whether this fire insurance policy is taken for a business or a house property purpose. When there is no such information, we can assume this policy is taken for business purpose. This insurance policy is taken for a business building, so it is treated as a allowed expenses to the business. So it should be recorded in the profit and loss account, debit side of profit and loss account. So leave as it is. Then life insurance premium is relating to personal expenses, so it is disallowed. So amount of life insurance premium is rupees 10,000. Next, about depreciation, there is an adjustment relating to depreciation. What it says, depreciation allowable as per IT rule is 12,000. So actually, as per section 32, the depreciation should be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account as per the rule. IT income tax says, as per the section 32, we have to record. So as per the section 32, when they calculated depreciation, so the depreciation amount is 12,000 should be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account. But as per for the accounting purpose, they have recorded depreciation 15,000, means they have followed other method of depreciation to calculate here, maybe straight line or other method. So it is not based on written down method or any it is not based on a rule which is said under section 32 of income tax act. So 15,000 they have recorded, means as per the income tax 12,000 should be recorded here. So 3,000 extra they have recorded, so that extra recorded amount should be cancelled. So it is known as a excess depreciation. Excess depreciation means extra depreciation recorded. So what is the excess depreciation recorded here? Total recorded is 15,000. In that only 12,000 is allowed, means remaining 3,000 is a disallowed depreciation or excess depreciation should be added to the net profit to cancel from the net profit. Next, donations. Donations are relating to personal expenses. It is not relating to business related expense, so it is disallowed, right? Donations 5,000. Then subscription to NSC, investment in the NSC, National Savings Certificate, it is not relating to business, so it is disallowed. So write under disallowed expenses, subscription to NSC is rupees 5,000, so it is disallowed. So if in the question, if they ask to calculate the total income means we have to provide even the deduction under section 80. So under deduction under section 80, we can record, if they ask total income, under 80C LIC premium should be taken, then subscription to NSC also taken under 80C. For this two payments, for the life insurance policy payment, premium payment or investment in the NSC, they can claim deduction under section 80C. In order to encourage the investors, the income tax has given a deductions for these. In order to encourage the investment in the NSC, income tax department has given a deduction under section 80C. So when the deduction is given, means they can reduce their taxes if they invest on these NSC saving certificates. So when they invest, means they can claim deductions under section 80. So when they are recording under 80C, means their total income reduces, their taxes also reduces. So that is to encourage the investors to invest in these investment alternatives. So deductions has been given as per income tax. So this subscription to NSC is disallowed expenses here. So we have to take under that. If total income is asked, then we have to take under 80C. Next, GST paid is allowed. So GST paid is allowed. So for GST is nothing but it is a tax paid on a supply of goods and services. Means if businesses they want to run a business, they have to purchase the raw material. So when they purchase the raw material, they have to pay the taxes. So for any goods and services, they have to pay the taxes. So that is GST paid will be allowable business expenses, so leave as it is. Next one is income tax. Income tax paid is disallowed, so we have to add to the net profit. Income tax is a personal expenses, so income tax paid is disallowed. The amount is 9,000. Next, so the debit side of a profit and loss account is over to record the disallowed expenses. Along with that, we have to see the additional information whether there is any left out adjustment relating to a disallowed expenses. So first adjustment is for the relating to rent, that is treatment is done. Then car expenses is also done, legal charges also done, depreciation also taken. So there is no other items disallowed expenses. So now we have to total the disallowed expenses. So when you total, it is equal to 78,000. Calculate. I don't know whether this is a correct answer. So total it again. So it is total 78,000. So now 69,000 is plus 78,000 is equal to 1,47,000 is a total. Now from that we have to deduct the income to be treated separately. Income to be treated separately means the income is not a business income. These are the following income what we are writing is not a business related income. It is a income should be taken separately, or we can take it as a disallowed income. If you are confusing with the sentence, we can take it as a disallowed incomes. So to write this income to be treated separately or a disallowed income, we have to see the credit side of profit and loss account. So now see one by one. So now see here credit side of profit and loss account, and we have to write one by one. The first one is interest on post office saving bank account. It is not relating to business, so we have to deduct. So that is 3,000. Interest on POSB or POSB account, 3,000 amount is disallowed. So here we have to take disallowed. Don't write exempt and all in here. It should be cancelled from a profit and loss account, so it is disallowed. Next, commission and discount, it is allowed, so it should be there in the profit, net profit, so don't do any effect. Then share of income from the firm, so it is not a business related income, it is a personal income. It is a income here he is going to receive from other sources, not from a businesses. It is from a partnership firm. He has entered in a partnership. He is a partner in one of a partnership firm, so he has received a income from that partnership firm. It is a disallowed. It is not relating to a particular businesses. So share of income from firm is not a business income, so 24,000 should be deducted. Next, bad debt recovered previously allowed is allowed income to the business, so leave as it is. If they give bad debt recovered disallowed earlier, if they give, then we have to deduct, okay, or else we should not deduct. Then agricultural income is not relating to business, so it should be deducted from a net profit. Agricultural income, so amount is 36,000 should be deducted. So total there is no other adjustment relating to a income. So now total it. So the total 36,000 plus 24,000 plus 3,000 is equal to 63,000 is as income to be treated separately. So if you deduct this 63,000, the balance is equal to 84,000, and there is no other adjustment, so everything is worked out. So the balance is nothing but the business income. This is nothing but business income. So this is a business income. On this business income, this Mr. Bhaskar has to pay tax. Actually net profit he got is, as per accounting, he got a net profit 69,000. On this 69,000 he should not pay taxes, but actual business profit is 84,000. On this business income he has to pay his tax. Under the section 28 he has to pay the taxes. So here in this question they have not asked to calculate the total income, so we have to stop here business income. If they ask to calculate the total income, then we have to continue with the calculation. So if you want to write note for your assumptions that you have assumed for interest on bank loan, you can write a note like it is assumed that bank loan is taken for business purpose, so interest on bank loan is allowed. you can give like then fire insurance premium, it is assumed that fire insurance policy is taken for office premises, so the fire insurance premium paid is allowed. So two assumption, so only two assumptions. So if you want, you can write note for your understanding purpose, no compulsion to write, you can write if you want to write for your understanding purpose. So this is about this illustration. I hope you understood this illustration.